Narges Mohammadi is in jail in Iran. Even at the best of times, that would be frightening. Now, at these worst of times, the horror doesn't bear thinking about. And one of the many awful things about this situation is that it's needless. She shouldn't be there. She should be set free now. When she was sentenced back in May 2016, the Revolutionary Court of Iran gave her 16 years for being a member of an organisation called Step by Step to Stop the Death Penalty and for committing propaganda against the state. One of the main focuses of that so-called propaganda campaign was to stop the state killing young offenders, which is to say, children. She was thrown into Evin prison. For a while she was there with Nazanin Zaghari-Ratcliffe. She's had to endure solitary confinement. She's been ill. She has a neurological disorder which causes muscular paralysis. But Evin prison officials have often denied her access to a neurologist. She's gone on hunger strike, and her health continued to deteriorate even before COVID-19 came. In spite of all that, her reaction has been to continue to speak out. This past December, she released a letter about recent killings in Iran. She said, "The state has shown that it is not able to tolerate the most peaceful of protests. Even its reaction to a silent march has been to fire bullets." There's a lot more to say about her story and her defiance that I'd urge you to look into. Of course, when you read that story, you'll want to help. And for Narges, there is something we can do. Her friends and supporters have set up a website, humanrightsontop.wordpress.com. And if you go to that, one of the first things you'll see is a gallery of photos of mountains from around the world. The website explains, foremost, we hope to raise awareness for Narges Mohammadi's case so that she's released and free to explore all these mountains and places along with her family. Her hobby used to be mountain climbing, but when she was a university student, she was banned from mountaineering because of her political and human rights related activities. But now people are sending her pictures. I don't know if she can actually see them in prison, but there's still something about this gesture. The photographs represent beauty and freedom, an alternative world where Narges is able to roam and feel the wind on her face. But the pictures are also touching as individual acts of kindness. The people who've gone to the trouble of sending them are really sending solidarity. So I've tried to take inspiration from them in the reading that follows. I want to give my own small gift to Narges, which will be a walk on the mountain I love the most. And of course, at the moment, I can't go there, so it feels extra poignant. Actually, it's more of a hill. It's called Whitbarrow, and it lies on the edge of the Lake District. Its summit is only 705 feet above sea level, but that summit does glory in the name of Lord Seat. The rest of the hill, meanwhile, a long exposed limestone escarpment laid down in the Carboniferous period 350 million years ago, is the site of special scientific interests. It's an incredible place, but don't take it from me. In his book, The Outlying Fells of Wakeland, the great bard of fell walkers, Alfred Wainwright, describes a walk up Whitbarrow as the most beautiful. It's beautiful every step of the way. All is fair to the eye on Whitbarrow, which is true. But I love it especially because it's the hill behind my mum's house, and I go up there all the time. From her front door, I just turn left onto a farm road and I'm climbing. I go through a wooden gate at the top of the lane and up through a steep hill. I go through a wooden gate at the top of the lane and up through a steep field where lambs play in spring. In winter, if it snows, the sledging there is second to none. At the end of that field there's a stile leading into a small wood, where I imagine at this time of year there's a carpet of bright bluebells and the heady smell of wild garlic. Then there's a short slippery trudge through the wood, which takes you to 3 old stone steps up the side of the wall. Then a steep diagonal path up a bank onto a stony, muddy track, which is inexplicably marked as a road on some maps, and so every so often it destroys a luckless lost saloon car. Leave this path quickly. Cut up towards the right, through another field, stonier now and scrubbier. There are thick bramble bushes that deliver sweet and tangy blackberries in early autumn, and scratches for the unwary the rest of the time. Another gate, a short climb, then it's just sky and the long stretch of the escarpment. The path cuts through a small declivity, so you don't get the full view yet, but no matter. The hilltop itself is lovely enough. It's a big, empty expanse of brown grass and heather and rocks, punctuated by just a few wind-battered trees and hawthorn and juniper bushes. It's bleak and stony, but that has its own rugged charm. Not to mention its own interest. There's a limestone pavement to the left of the path, which is a geographer's dream of clints and grikes. It feels like a special ancient place. On we go. Don't get too distracted, because the track is generally pretty muddy. There are loose rocks to watch for. Also, gigantic, hairy, red cows with long horns. They don't do much more than stand around, chewing the cud, and looking scenic, but let's not bump into them. Path's flat now, right in the top of the outcrop. After a gentle, but nonetheless elating couple of kilometres, we get to a dry stone wall, which was built over 100 years ago by unknown hands, one carefully selected rock at a time. It stretches out over the top as far as the eye can see. After that, a small pine copse, before the path leads you past some miniature limestone escarpments that look for all the world like scale models of the hill you're on. Then you take a sharp right for Lord's Seat and the summit, which is where the magic really begins. Because my mum's house is so well situated for the hill, and because I'm a dad and early mornings no longer hold any fear for me, I've quite often made it up there just after sunrise. I went up there this winter. I ran on a day so foggy that it felt as if it was actually getting darker as the dawn approached. Until, at least, I got to the last slope, towards the cairn at Lord's Seat. That took me above the mist. I found myself looking out over splendours suddenly visible under the rising sun. Morecambe Bay and the Kent Estuary and the Irish Sea to the south. Another temporary sea of rolling fog in the valley below. And then to the west and beyond, the outlines of the Lake District Mountains brightening into sharp focus. Cartmel Fell, the Old Man of Coniston, the Langdale Pikes. The names are evocative enough in themselves, but it's the feeling you get, the strange elation of mountains, of their long campaign against time, of their hugeness in the face of humanity, of their stillness and silence. These are places we can't touch and we can't spoil. I can't properly verbalise that feeling, but it's the same excitement that moved the romantic poets to write about sublime nature, and, I'm guessing, which motivated all those people to send in pictures for Narges. In the morning, you get an extra selfish pleasure too, if you get there early enough, because Lord's Seat can be yours. You can be king or queen of the mountain. Later on, there'll be more panting joggers. Walkers will enjoy well-earned cups of tea. There won't be so many people that it ruins things. Everyone I've ever met at the summit has been cheerful. But there's something special of feeling alone amongst all that beauty. I enjoy that solitude especially in normal times, because I know it will soon end. In fact, most of the time when I'm there, I'm not even really alone. My dog will be with me, wagging his tail, making the most of things, sharing and adding to the joy of being there. I also know that when I get back, I'll get to see my family. My mum's house has a glass front door leading to the kitchen, and as I approach, I generally see my daughter sitting at the table, having her breakfast, and that is better than all the other views in the world. And I wish that simple delight for Narges. I wish the day will come soon when she can enjoy the companionable freedom and loneliness of mountains. As it is, we know what she has to endure. Harder still, she's a mother of young children. She's been denied that most basic and deepest joy of knowing that the next hello is just a short walk away. And so I'd like to finish by reading an extract from a poem she wrote in September 2017, almost 3 years ago now, and it's called 3 Goodbyes. When Ali and Kiana were 8.5, I got them ready for school in the morning, and they left. The security guard attacked my home. Ali and Kiana were not home. I picked up their photo from the bookshelf and I kissed them goodbye and was led to the car with men who had no mercy. And now in September 2017, I've not seen them for 2.5 years. My writing might not be correctly worded, but it has the certainty of feeling the pain of mothers throughout history. The mothers who take pride in their conviction from one side and feel the pain of conviction being away. Their children taken away. It's gone time she was allowed to see them.